Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Magic the Gathering. So I have a few topics to talk about this week. To actually cover the last couple weeks since last week we were doing the set review and did not have an episode of the show. So having said that, let's jump into our first topic. So the first topic I want to talk about was the Community Cup, which happened about a week ago. And I really like this event. I love the fact that they invite people from all over the Magic community that have different roles in the community into the Magic Cup and to be a part of this and get some exposure. I think that's really awesome. I would be curious if you could leave in the comments below, perhaps, how many people watch the Community Cup and what your thoughts are on it and the coverage. Here's kind of my thought. I feel like, obviously, I don't think as many people watch it as, say, a Pro Tour or even maybe a Star City Games Open or what have you, but like I said, it's still a worthwhile event. I think they could do some things to improve the coverage of it. One of the things, I totally get that this is also kind of their vehicle to show you Magic Online and get people interested in Magic Online. But I don't know, I find paper Magic much more interesting most of the time. Although I have enjoyed watching things like Vintage, Super League, and stuff like that. But I don't know, I just think I'd prefer to see paper Magic. And they did play the Battle for Zendikar sealed event, and they did do some rounds in paper as well as Magic Online. But I found the real life rounds much more interesting to watch, quite honestly. Let me know your thoughts. I'd just be curious on that. You know, I get it. Part of the reason they're doing the thing is to market Magic Online, and they even go as far as to say, hey, if you haven't logged in this weekend, log in. You'll get some free cards if the community team wins, that sort of stuff. So they're definitely pushing it. They played Legacy Cube, which they were playing it on the Community Cup, but it wasn't available on Magic Online for another few days. I felt like that was a big miss. Like, I saw them playing Legacy Cube, and they just updated the cube, and I wanted to play. I totally would have watched Twitch stream and played as well on my PC, but it wasn't available yet. So I found that kind of strange and kind of a miss from a marketing point of view. So I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. I feel like coverage-wise, they do the best they can, and I realize parts of it are going to be on Magic Online, because like some of the fun things they do where they build commander decks or they build just wacky decks, you can't have like every Magic card ever printed sitting there in a room. So that works better on Magic Online, totally. But some of the stuff like Battle for Zendikar, for example, is just really fun to see open in paper form, especially if anyone gets like an expedition or something like that. So I don't know, just my thoughts on the Community Cup. Like I said, I think there's room for improvement. I do like the event quite a bit, and very happy that they do it. So next thing I want to talk about was intro packs. I'll leave a link in the comments below so you can take a closer look at these deck lists. Here's the event deck. I did a separate video on this, so check that out. I won't go into all the details on the event deck here, since I've already done that, but let's look at the intro packs. And the first one is Rallying Cry, and this is a Boros deck. And if you're not familiar with this product, first off, it's a 60-card deck. It's great for new players. It's a great way, even if you're not a new player, to get your hands on some of the new cards and play with them, or just have them for your collection and build other decks with them. But they are a little bit narrow, and they're not going to be super powerful, not competitive in Friday Night Magic or anything like that. They also come with 2 boosters, and that's kind of a way, I think, especially during pre-release weekend, because they do sell these during pre-release weekend. It's kind of an awkward way, I think, to get experienced players to pick these up, because they just want to grab more boosters, especially the weekend before the set comes out. So yeah, there it is. I mean, these products are very available. You can pick them up at your Walmarts and your Targets, as well as your local game stores. So they're everywhere. They're mass produced, and they're a good way to also keep some of the rares in check. But typically your top tier rares in these intro packs, they kind of do that on purpose. I remember years ago there was a basically pre-constructed deck. It was a little bit different back in those days for Betrayers of Kamigawa, and it came with a Umezawa's Jet, and you sure couldn't find a copy of that particular deck anywhere. So anyway, aside from that, the first one, Rallying Cry, you can see Hero of Gomafata is one of your rares, and one of your rares will be foil, and it will have promotional artwork on it, and that will be kind of in the front of the intro pack. And here's the deck list. I'll kind of stop on this for a minute, let you guys take a look at it. And like I said, there'll be a link if you want to take a closer look. But it's basically a Boros ally deck. And you also get an Angelic Captain as your second rare in there. You'll get 2 rares. And of course, your 2 booster packs will also have rares. Next is Swarming Instinct. And you can see here Drowner of Hope is the featured card with the promo artwork. Your other rare in this one is Desolation Twin. Now, this is basically a Simic token / Eldrazi deck, so it looks kind of cool actually. Some good removal in there. Get like a Titan's Presence, you got Scour from Existence, so that one looks kind of fun. Next we have Call of Blood, and you see Defiant Bloodlord is the featured card with the promotional art, and this one is going to be a ally / vampire black-white deck, and it contains also Felidar Sovereign as your other rare. Then we have Eldrazi Assault. This is featuring Barrage Tyrant, which I think is actually a pretty cool rare. And this is going to be your black-red aggressive deck. And your second rare in this one is Serpentine Spike. And now we have Zendikar's Rage, which is going to be a red and green, featuring Oran Reef Hydra. And this one is going to be your landfall deck. And you also get a Nisa's Renewal as your second rare in there. So those are the intro decks. Like I said, feel free to pause the video, take a closer look, or else you can check out the link if you want to look at the deck list. But I mean, nothing to write home about. They're functional decks. They're not meant to be super powerful. They're just meant to be fun, and it's a real easy way to teach the game to somebody or learn the game. You get a couple of booster packs too, and just sometimes you just don't have Magic cards. You want to play a game, and you might be somewhere you're not familiar with. You can go to a Walmart and pick 1 or 2 of these up or what have you and play a game. So yeah, there they are. So for my last topic, here's another one I'd love to hear your opinion on in the comments below. Yet again, it seems like there is a high-profile promotion that is coming out of packs sort of lackluster, and what I'm referring to is the Expedition lands. It appears that many of them are coming out of the packs with damage on the right side of the card. And here's one example, but there's been a lot of photos on message boards. You can see kind of a fraying on the right side. So first off, to understand about these expeditions, they have a special foiling process. They don't look like a regular foil card. They almost look more like a From the Vaults foil that is very smooth and kind of extra shiny. But I guess they're not doing the From the Vault foiling process because, as you know, that foiling process has had a lot of issues in the past. The biggest one is it basically bends the cards. The cards come out warped, and you can flatten them out if you put them in like a binder with pages and kind of crush them down, and they end up okay. I mean, I have a lot of From the Vault cards that are fine, but when you pull them out of the box, I mean, they are warped. And then the more you kind of slide them in and out of sleeves, the edges typically kind of fray, similar to what you're seeing here. Not all of the From the Vaults, but at least some of the products have had that fraying issue. So these are coming out of the pack frayed like this, and it looks like just another production error. And I don't know, this is another real high profile, high focus, high hyped product that is just coming out not perfect. And I don't think people are super happy about it. Modern Masters 2015 was, of course, the other recent example. It appeared that Wizards used some of their printers that maybe typically print like things like dual decks and stuff to print Modern Masters, and what you ended up with was products with a lot of damage coming out of the pack. And you had foil Tarmogoyfs that were worth a lot of money coming out damaged. You had scuffed foils quite frequently. I pulled a number of scuffed foils. I actually pulled a Tarmogoyf that had a nick on the back. That type of stuff just coming right out of the packs. And I didn't open that much Modern Masters. I think I opened 3 boxes for the channel. But really, in those 3 boxes, there was a good sampling of damaged cards that came out of the packs, and that was a widespread issue. And now here we are pre-release weekend for Battle for Zendikar, and we're seeing it again with some of the most valuable cards that are out there. The Scalding Tarn, for example, is a $450 card. It's coming out of the pack pretty chewed up. Now, I will say that with Modern Masters, and I'm sure this will be no exception, Wizards did a good job of trying to fix these issues through their customer service department. So if you do run into this, check out the Wizards website, go over to customer service, and I'm sure they'll help you. But a lot of people aren't going to bother doing that, quite honestly. They're just going to be upset that they pulled a damaged card, especially one of such value. So I don't know. I feel like Wizards has to get this stuff right. It's really hard. Magic's expensive. I mean, let's face it. This is a very expensive hobby that we are in, and you work hard. In some cases, your parents work hard, for that money. And I know what it's like to, have jobs that you put in hours and hours and hours, and sometimes you make very little. And you decide what you do with that money that you do make. And if you decide to put it towards any product, that product should be what it's advertised to be. And I hate the fact to think that there's people that work, 9 to 5 or even longer days and make very little money, and they decide to spend their money on Magic the Gathering, and they open up the Scalding Tarn. Is kind of sad to me. Work is your time away from your family and from your friends, and we all do it because we need to do it, but you're earning this money that really should be respected by the companies that are giving you products. And I just don't like the current direction that I've seen in quality control at Wizards, and I don't really know what's wrong or what caused this or anything like that. They haven't addressed it yet, but I assume they probably will shortly. I mean, they did address the Modern Masters issues pretty quickly. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and that's about it for this week's episode. So we should be back on a more regular basis now that we're past spoiler season. And as always, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you haven't checked out our Patreon page yet, please do so. There's a link at the top right corner of the video or in the annotation on the next slide. So thanks a lot, and have a great day. Hey, thanks as always for watching. These videos are made possible by viewers just like you through Patreon. Please check out our Patreon page by clicking on the top right. Down below, we have more links to quality Magic the Gathering content, and if you're interested in seeing trading cards open that aren't Magic the Gathering, check out the link to our trading card channel, Heroes and Legends Trading Cards. Thanks, and have a great day.